How's it going, guys? So a company by the name of F4 Studios just today announced a new Final Fantasy VII Remake Tifa statue. And I gotta be honest, out of the countless Tifa statues that are being worked on right now, I think this is a strong contender for the best Tifa statue I've seen. Now, F4 Studio is actually kind of a smaller company, but I think they're fairly well known among statue collectors for producing some pretty high-end collectibles. This Tifa is actually part of their 1/4 scale Museum Pose series line of statues, which honestly just kind of sounds like it's trying to compete with Prime 1's Museum Masterline series. They've actually got a few other pieces based on the FF7 remake in the works too, including a really nice Final Fantasy VII diorama with Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith, and also an individual Aerith statue, which I'm assuming is also part of their Museum Pose series. I'm actually planning on making some videos about those statues too, so keep a lookout for that. Now, before we get into the video, guys, if you get any value out of this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave the video a like, as it really does help the channel out. Also, what do you guys think of this statue? What's your favorite Tifa statue that's being released? Let me know in the comments. Now, as you can probably tell by looking at these renders, this statue is 100% based on the remake's version of Tifa. And that's kind of in contrast to the Mayfly's Tifa, which is kind of a hybrid between the Advent Children Tifa and the original FF7 Tifa. So as of right now, we only have a few pictures to look at, and it's important to keep in mind that some of these pictures are just renders, but as we can see, they've got the in-hand statue printed, and all that's left is the coloring. So looking at this close-up shot of her sculpt, I think they completely nailed it. This is FF7 Remake Tifa. Everything from the head sculpt to the body to the clothing, there's so much detail, and it all looks really, really well done. You can even make out the texture to her shirt even without any paint. Also, based on these images, I think it's pretty obvious that, just like the Mayfly statue, this statue will not be cast off, which is great. There's way too many over-sexualized Tifa statues out there, it's just getting absolutely ridiculous. Here's a picture of the full statue, unpainted. Looks like it's about 44 centimeters tall, and the base doesn't really take up any space either, so this statue should be pretty easy for most people to display. Speaking of the base, I think it's adequate, but I'm personally not really crazy about it. A lot of times these 1/4 scale museum style pieces will actually have kind of a small base to make it easier for people to display. So I'm wondering if that's just like a trademark of this statue series. I do like how her name is etched in the base though, I think that's pretty cool. Also, I like the fact that her pose is different than most of the Tifa statues we've seen. Seems like most of the Tifa statues coming out all kind of have the same sort of pose, with her arm going across, fitting her glove on. But this one's a little bit different, which I think is a good thing. So here's a render of what the finished product should look like. It's similar to the MH Studio Tifa that's coming out, but for me personally, I think this one has it beat with the head sculpt. Like I said before, I think this is the best head sculpt of the FF7 Remake Tifa I've seen. My personal favorite overall is still the Mayfly's Tifa, just because I would prefer to own a statue based on the original FF7 Tifa. But I could see why this F4 Studio statue would be some people's top pick. I think this and the Mayfly's Tifa would actually make really good companion pieces, and honestly I am tempted to pre-order, but there's just so many Final Fantasy VII statues coming out right now, I can't justify spending all that money. Here's a closer look at the render. I think everything looks great, but the hair sculpt looks a little bit strange to me though. Now in this picture, I think the hair sculpt looks a little bit flat and doesn't seem to have the same detail as the rest of the piece. But I know that's because it's a render. I'm sure the final in-hand images will look even better than this. Now as of right now, the statue is not yet up for pre-order. F4 has said that it will be available soon. No word on pricing yet either, but based on the other Tifa statues coming out from other companies, and the other Final Fantasy VII pieces coming out from F4, I think around $400 or $500 US is a pretty safe estimate. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. We should be getting more details on this piece really soon, but what do you guys think? Do you like it, dislike it, prefer a different version of Tifa? Let me know in the comments. As always, guys, if you got any value from this video, make sure you like the video and hit the subscribe button. I cover all kinds of gaming collectibles on my channel, so if you want to stay up to date, make sure you hit the bell notification. Once again, guys, thank you for watching, stay safe, and take care.